Hello, America. This is the NFLPA's Rookie Premiere Google Plus Hangout. I'm Peter King with Sports Illustrated and editor-in-chief of the MMQB.com. Joined today at the NFLPA's Rookie Premiere by Cincinnati Bengals quarterback A.J. McCarron and New Orleans Saints wide receiver Brandin Cooks. A.J., let's start with you. What is going on I think a lot of people would wonder, what is the NFLPA Rookie Premiere event?
It's a great event. Not only to meet a bunch of sponsors and everybody that runs the NFL, but we get to hang out with the guys that we played college football with last year, like Brandin. I've watched him a ton throughout his career. And all these other guys. So it's just a great time for us all to hang out and have fun and enjoy the moment.
Brandin, what are you guys doing? Are you getting some sort of indoctrination to what life as an NFL player will be like? What are the sessions like? What are you doing out there in LA?
Well, in a sense, yeah, you're correct. We're just going through with a handful of player rotations and partner rotations with some of the partners that's linked up with the NFL, like Pepsi, Coke, and a lot of those other guys. So it's been a wonderful weekend so far, and right now we're just getting to know each other and getting to know these companies.
I'd also sort of like to ask both of you guys whether an event like this, I've often wondered what it must be like to sit there on some weekend in the spring, have absolutely no idea where your future is. You could be in Foxborough, Massachusetts. You could be in San Diego, California. You'd be in Miami, Florida. You could be in Seattle, Washington. You'd be anywhere at the start of the draft. Brandin, I'll start with you. What is that period of uncertainty like for you when you're just sitting there having absolutely no idea what your immediate future holds?
That's the beauty of it. You don't know. So it's one of those things that you continue to work and do what you can do and handle what you can control. And as far as where you're going to end up for your next 4 or 6, whatever the years are, it's one of those things that you're blessed enough that you're having this opportunity to at least get this chance, because not everyone has this type of opportunity, and we're blessed to have that one.
AJ, you had a longer wait than Brandin did, obviously. What were those couple of days like for you? And what is it having no idea whatsoever where you're going to end up?
Well, the time was, it's a tough process just because, like Brent said, you have no clue where you're going. It's really out of your control. Teams are, if they like you, they're going to take you. If not, then they might, have you whatever position you play, the number 2 ranked guy, but when it comes around, if they have somebody ranked higher than you on their board overall players, then they choose that guy. So it's a weird process. I just enjoyed it all. I sat at my uncle's house with my family, and we just enjoyed each other's company. This is a blessing, like Brandon said. It's a blessing to be in the situation. Starting football at the age of 3, I never, thought in my wildest dreams would I achieve any of this. So I'm just enjoying the process and having fun with it.
Let's go way back in time for both of you. I've read up a little bit on you guys, and you both had some pretty significant trials when you were young. AJ, you had a very severe jet ski accident when you were 5 years old. And, I've read a lot of different things about it. Either you almost died, you were seriously injured. What happened, and how much of it do you remember?
Yeah, I was. I believe I was age of 5. We were trailing a Marine patrol boat. It was our first day to have the wave runner, actually. And we were, like I said, trailing a Marine patrol boat. He peeled off to go into out to the bay. We stayed in the river part. And back then on the old wave runners, the propeller was exposed in the back. So we went over, when we got off the wave, we went over a buoy that was floating up and down. The buoy caught the back of the propeller, shook us, and made us lose control. We were already doing like 55 on it, and I was so small. I used to sit in front of my dad, and I panicked and hit the accelerator. And before we knew it, it happened so fast. Before we knew it, we were headed right at a pier, and the piers down on the river are a lot lower, and they're almost like water height. And my dad realized we were about to run into it, so he knocked me off, so we wouldn't run into it with me on it. But I was so small back then, I bounced off the water, kind of skimmed like a rock, and the pier hit the left side of my face and crushed the whole left side of my face to the back of my head, and got to the hospital, and they told my parents I was going to be dead in the next 2 hours to go spend time with me. They spent those 2 hours with me, not knowing what was going to happen, and 18 hours later, after a surgery, they came out and said I was going to be, during the surgery, I was going to be a vegetable, and then I was going to be blind, and then after the 18-hour surgery, it was a miracle. Nothing was wrong with me. I have 8 metal plates in the left side of my face, 6 screws. So,
you still have those?
Yeah, I still have them. My whole left side of my face is metal, and just it was definitely a miracle and a blessing.
So, how much of it? I mean, obviously it happened when you're 5 years old. Do you tend to bury that, or is it a vivid memory in your life?
Well, I mean, no, I always try to remember it, because I'm a true believer in God has a plan for everybody. So, I truly believe that He gave me a second chance at life and put me on this earth for a reason. I believe football was, the platform that He, meant for me to have, but I don't think it's my overall life plan. I believe God wanted me to spread His word and be able to bless and touch other people by playing this great game. And so I always try to remember it and remember, live life to the fullest, because it can be taken away from you in a matter of minutes. You never know. So.
Brandin, let's transition to you. You had something slightly different happen to you, but your dad died of a heart attack, I read, when you were 6 years old.
Yeah.
What was that like for you to cope with, and basically now have your father just snatched away from you at a moment's notice?
I mean, it's one of those things, first of all, once he passed away, I had to grow up fast. I have 3 older brothers, and my mom raised us 4 boys by herself. She never wanted to remarry. And, we had a lot of trials throughout my family. Brothers had kids at an early age, and my 3rd older brother incarcerated due to, gang violence and everything. So I was the last one, and I felt like I needed to make a change, for our family. And not only that, just, grow up quicker than people my age had to grow up, due to the fact that I didn't have no father around. I had to, pick off of my friends' fathers and, my brothers being somewhat of a father figure in sort of a way. It was kind of a lack of education throughout the household. I'll be the first one in my family to get a college degree and to be able to do something like this. So my dad was always my motivation, because he left my mom behind, and she had to work 2 jobs and do what she had to do and raise us 4 boys. And I just was motivated to be able to give back to her and let her relax one day. And that time has come now.
What did your mom say the day that you were drafted by the Saints?
She just couldn't stop saying how proud she was. You know what I mean? And it was funny because I was joking around. I was like, well, a couple months you're gonna have to quit that job. And she's like, oh, I'm not quitting. And so every time she goes into work now, people are surprised that she keeps showing up. So it'd be soon she'll be done though.
What does your mom do for a job?
She worked at a company called Dorfman Pacific. It's just a warehouse company, and she make boxes and take boxes up.
Does she still live out in Stockton?
She does. Yeah, she does.
So that must have been really, really fun for her to see you in playing big-time college sports out on the West Coast, right in her backyard. Yeah, where, if she wanted to, she just drives over to Stanford or Cal or down to USC or UCLA, and there's her little boy being the star of the show. Yeah, no,
it was a great thing for her. God blessed us to be able to have that opportunity and to be able to change the negative into a positive and help her and bring happiness to her life.
AJ, I want to ask you a little bit about your draft experience, where you ended up. There was no question. I mean, I was hearing the Arizona Cardinals in the second round. I think you probably were hearing a lot of stuff, too, that you might get drafted a lot earlier than you did. You can say all the right things now, but there's got to be a little part of it that still burns a little bit.
Well, I mean, yeah, you know, maybe I was a little too honest when I went to meetings, but that's me. I'm an honest person. If somebody asks me, you know, my opinion, I'm gonna tell them what I truly think. So, you know, I don't regret anything. Like I said, I feel like God has a plan. Cincinnati's a great city, a great place for me, a great organization. So I just can't thank them enough. You know, I try not to live in the past. And, you know, whatever happened, happened. So, you know, I'm excited about what's up next, playing for, like I said, for this great organization. And to be a part of, you know, the Cincinnati Bengals team is just a blessing for me. So I'm happy.
When you got to minicamp, there was a bit of a, or when you first reported to Cincinnati, there was a bit of a firestorm. I think it was Adam Schefter of ESPN or somebody reported that you had turned off some teams during the pre-draft process. Did that surprise you? And what did you think when you started hearing that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think it was teams. To be honest with you, I think it was one team, and you know, they just didn't like what I had to say, I guess, and then they told other teams. So, I mean, like I said, I mean that's in the past. There's nothing I can do. You know, if somebody wants to leak bad information, and them trying to say I've had, you know, character issues or whatever, I mean, it's crazy to me, but. Especially all the things I've done, giving back, and I've never been in an ounce of trouble my entire life. So, I mean, it's, you know, if people believe that, then that's the way it goes sometimes. I guess they really didn't want me. So that's why I said I'm blessed. I'm happy, Coach Marvin, you know, Coach Hugh and Coach Zamp and Mr. Brown and the rest of that organization, Cincinnati, wanted me and took me, and that's all I can ask for. It's a blessing, so I'm happy.
AJ, a lot of us who haven't had a chance to cover you much, you know, obviously because I cover the NFL, I don't cover college football. But over the years, especially the last couple of years when I've watched you play, the one thing that I've always thought of is that if you're a quarterback for Nick Saban, you better have all the answers. And I don't mean that in a cocky sense. I mean that you better not come to the sidelines and say you have no idea what you just saw. You better be studied up. You better know what you're doing. Tell me in your mind how playing for Nick Saban helped prepare you for what you're about to experience.
Yeah, I mean, and people try to, you know, say it's easy to play at Alabama. If that was the case, then you know, we would have won a national championship every year. But you know, coach definitely puts a lot on the quarterback. You know, my first year, I was brought up slowly, but my last two, you know, I made all the mic calls. I ran everything in the summer, myself and C.J. Mosley. We made sure guys were on time. We had to deal with, you know, a lot of stuff. So, and it helps you. It puts you, you know, through things at an early age and running organizations and knowing how to do it right. So, you know, I definitely think I've experienced a lot within the game itself, a lot more than, you know, other quarterbacks that were in this draft. So I can never thank Coach Saban enough for helping me through this whole process, and you know, he's always been like a father figure to me. So, and he knows how I feel about him, and you know, like I said, I can never thank him enough, though.
How much responsibility at Alabama did you have to call your own stuff?
Well, are you talking about plays?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had two great OCs, Jim McElwain and Doug Nussmeier. But I mean, when I felt like I wanted to run a play. I mean, I told Coach, and we ran it. Touchdown pass to win against Texas A&M this year. We came to the sideline on a timeout. He asked me, we were getting a call. I told him, I said, I felt like this play would work. And he said, all right, let's run it. And, threw a touchdown, and we won the game. Same thing, we were on the 1 yard line or the 1 inch line against Auburn. He let me call that play action pass, and it ended up being a 99-yard touchdown pass too. So, Coach Saban gives me a lot of freedom. But you have to earn it. I mean, he's not the type of guy that's just going to let you just roam out there and do whatever you want. So, I felt like I've earned that respect and that trust from him throughout my years there.
Brandin, the one thing that I remember thinking about you when I was watching a little bit of tape on you after the season ended was you really reminded me a lot of Tavon Austin, who the Rams picked a little bit higher in the first round last year. And I wonder, have you seen much tape of Austin, or did you watch him much when he was at West Virginia, and do you think your games are at all similar?
I mainly watched him when he was at West Virginia and saw some of his tape. But, I like the comparison as far as how shifty he is and how he's able to blow the top off. But personally, I like to compare myself to someone like Steve Smith, and I try to mold my game after a guy like that due to the fact how physical he is, but at the same time is able to run great routes.
How do you think, I view the Saints as, and this is not brown-nosing, this is not just saying this to you because we're talking right now, but you could not have ended up in a more perfect place.
You're right about that.
Because not only Drew Brees and Sean Payton, but, you're going to be playing on the rug, your speed will be highlighted, and you know that this is a system that loves to get the ball deep and, that loves to throw the ball downfield. So when you first heard, the moment that the phone rang and you're in the green room at Radio City Music Hall and you know it's the Saints, it's the first thought that goes through your mind.
I'm playing with a Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees. And that's my first thought once I picked that phone up. But not only that, playing underneath a great coach, and Coach Payton, he's so creative in what he does. He lost Sproles, who was a big corporate of their offense last year, and I feel like that's an area that I can fulfill on some of those passes that he caught last year. But not only that, Kenny Stills, who also is a 4-3 guy who's able to blow the top off. And then you got Marcus Colston over there, who's just a vet and a guru at what he does. So I'm excited to play an offense like this.
What do you think? Are you confident after knowing a little bit more now about the offense that you will be able to step in day one, however much you're used, but you'll be able to contribute right away and make this offense more powerful?
No, I'm extremely confident. Sorry, but when I went to rookie minicamp and received the playbook, to be honest, it's not that much different than my college playbook. Besides being more creative, just the terms are different, so it was easy to be able to pick up the plays and the concept and what I had to do.
What about your early relationship with Brees? What was it like to practice with him, or what's it been like to meet him and be with him a bit so far?
Well, honestly, all we were able to do was just text back and forth right now. I'm not able to go to OTAs due to the fact I'm in the quarter system and I'm an underclassman. I haven't graduated yet.
So is that going to, you think, be much of a roadblock in your ability to contribute early?
No, not at all. I still have my playbook, still working out, and I get back over there. I get the last 4 days of OTAs to be able to work with Drew Brees. And at the same time, on the off time, I'll probably try to fly down to San Diego and work with him.
So before training camp begins, go down to San Diego and meet with Brees when he's there this summer before training camp.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. AJ, I want to ask both of you guys this question about, over the years, whether you're in high school, whether you're in college, whether on Sunday afternoons, or are you just too tied up with your own world? Or on Sunday afternoons, was it traditional for you to sit down and find whatever NFL game was on?
I mean, me growing up, I never really watched NFL. I just wasn't a big fan of professional football. You know, I like certain players. I loved watching Brett Favre play. You know, I love watching Peyton and Tom play, and Aaron Rodgers. But other than that, I mean, when I get away from football, when I'm done with mine, I try to do something else, relax, and hang out with the family. I'm just, you know, I'm not crazy about it. I love playing this game because it's something I love. But like I said, when I get done with football, I try to do something else to just get my mind off of it.
What have you done since the draft to try to be a bit more of a normal person?
Well, I mean, I haven't been able to do anything other than practice and study my playbook every day. I mean, I'm in there at 6:30, 7 every morning, and for a long time during the day. So, you know, that's the biggest thing to me is I don't want to let anybody down. So I go up there and study my butt off, and I'm trying to get everything I can right now.
It's got to be kind of a strange relationship. I mean, Andy Dalton knows you're there, knows the past that you've had, knows the great college career you had. I'm sure he's saying all the right things and doing the right things, but you know, it's like Tom Brady when they picked Jimmy Garoppolo in the second round. He's going to be good and polite and helpful, but he'll be darned if he's going to let somebody else take his job. So what is that relationship like for you with Andy?
I mean, me and Andy are great friends. You know, he was, I believe, the first one to text me and also tweet at me when I got picked. So, I mean, I think people in media itself, they try to make it a story when they try to make things a story when it's not a story. You know, me and Andy are friends. Andy is a great pro QB. You know, he's led the team to the playoffs 3 years in a row. He deserves the respect that he should get, and you know, the support also. So that's what I mean. That's my job. You know, I'm there to compete with him, push him however I can. But at the end of the day, we're teammates, we're friends, and if he's the starter, I respect that, and I support him 100%. Like I said, because that's what he deserves, and he's worked his tail off to earn that. So.
How soon after you got drafted did he text you?
I mean, it was literally like, I mean, he sent me a tweet, and I followed him. Then he DM'd, he messaged me his number, and told me to contact him, and we started talking right then. So.
You mean that same right after you got drafted?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't probably 30 minutes after I got drafted.
That's pretty impressive. Brandin, I got to tell you, over the years, I've covered the NFL now for 30 years, and there's a lot of enthusiastic fan groups, and there's a lot of people out there who really love their team, but I have to say, when the Saints are going good in New Orleans, life is pretty rollicking, and life is pretty happy. So do you have any idea what kind of a nutty environment you're getting into going to play for the New Orleans Saints?
And, to be honest, I don't. You know, I'm going in there unexpected. I don't know how it is. I don't know how the fans are. I know the fans are crazy about their football, but as far as what goes on out there in that city, I have no clue. So I'm going in there blinded.
I'll tell you a quick story. A month or so ago, I was at a Bruce Springsteen concert in New Orleans, and I ran into Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator of the Saints. And if you'd see the way Rob Ryan was treated there, if you sort of combined the mayor and the president combined, that would be how people were treating Rob Ryan. It was like he was Drew Brees or something. He was a hero. And that's a coach. That's not a player. That's a coach.
Right.
And so I think you're I think you're really going to enjoy what you're getting yourself into.
No, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Finishing up with A.J. McCarron from Alabama, Brandin Cooks from Oregon State, and one more for both of you. A.J., when you think about how you measure success in your NFL career, I would assume it all has to do with playing. But obviously you're coming in there and you're going to try to unseat Andy Dalton, but it's going to be tough. As you say, 3 years, 3 playoff appearances. He's a solid starter. What to you will constitute success at the NFL level?
I mean, I don't have any expectations, so I'm not trying to say, well, I want to go in and start 15 years or anything like that. I try to take one day at a time, control what I can, and be the best player I can day in and day out, and wherever the chips fall, they fall. So, I'm blessed to be in this situation, have this opportunity to be a part of the NFL, and football is just a game. It's not life. It's not going to last forever. So, like Marshall Faulk said yesterday, you got to have a plan after football. So everybody has a time period, and when their time's up, you only have so many plays in your body. So whenever that time's up, you got to have a plan and be ready for the next chapter in your life. So right now I'm just enjoying this moment, playing football for the Cincinnati Bengals, and whatever happens in the future happens.
Brandin, we'll finish with you. When people watch you on the field this year for the Saints, starting Game 1 against the Atlanta Falcons, describe the kind of player that people are going to see when they watch Brandin Cooks play.
They're going to see a versatile receiver out there who's able to blow the top off and make some moves, and at the same time catch an underneath ball and hopefully take it for the distance. They're going to see someone who's extremely physical and not afraid to do anything. I stand 5'9", but I play 6 foot 6'4". You know what I mean? So it's one of those things they're just going to see. Exciting player out there, and I hope they love watching me.
Well, Brandin Cooks, thank you so much for joining the NFLPA's Rookie Premiere Google Plus Hangout. Thanks, too, to A.J. McCarron from Alabama. Good luck with the Saints, Brandin. Good luck with the Bengals, A.J. Thanks so much for being on the program today.
Yeah, thank you. And,
yes, sir. Thank you.
Tell Brett Favre I said hello.
I don't see him much anymore, but if I do, I will.
All right. See you later.